So Danielle, take me back to the concert. You and your boyfriend, you were having a good time, and then what happened?
So yeah, we were having the time of our life, me and my boyfriend and other six of our friends. We were having a great time, great party, everybody celebrating love and happiness. And around 6:30 in the morning, a couple of minutes after sunrise, we saw the sky were painted in red. There were huge amount of missiles coming towards our direction from the Gaza Strip. Um, I myself and my boyfriend, we live in the south of Israel, so missiles are not something we are strange to. Unfortunately, it's our normal day-to-day life, which people may not know, but it's a regular thing here in Israel.
You saw
But
those
yeah,
missiles. When you saw those missiles, did you automatically assume you were under attack?
yeah, we knew something was going on. By the magnitude, by the amount of missiles in the sky, the whole sky was painted red like Fourth of July fireworks type of style. But no, there were missiles, so we understood something big was going on. We immediately ran towards the camping area, which is inside the venue, and we started just hiding underneath the trees, getting our group together to see that everybody like is here, nobody's missing. People started crying, panicking. People were not in the greatest mood. After I want to say like 10 minutes, around 6:45 a.m., 6:50, security just ran among the people and told everybody to go get into your car and drive and get away from here. We are at open field, so there's a good chance missiles is going to hit. We need to evacuate.
At this
At that
point, all you knew that there was just a missile strike, but you didn't realize that there were people, that there were terrorists on the ground.
No, we had no idea at that point. We thought it was only missiles. So at that point, this is where me and my boyfriend Ronald split from our group of friends because we came in a different car. We ran to our car, my car, which was parked near the main exit of the venue. Once we got in the car, we saw the masses of people who were scared, who were drunk. It was the middle of the rave, under the influence, even maybe. And people were starting to drive like crazy towards the exit because everybody wanted to go. Me and Ronald made the choice that we are scared from the drunk drivers and we don't want to get hit because we were almost hit a couple of times. So we will wait it out. We will wait in the car, and after the mass will scattered, we will drive to his parents' house, which was like a 20-minute drive, a very short drive. So we waited out. We waited out a bit too long. At around 7:15 a.m., this is where we start to hear shooting, massive shooting, and we saw the masses of people just running from one place to another. People abandoned their cars and start like running everywhere. At that point, my boyfriend Ronald was the one driving. He maneuvered the car, and we just started to escape towards the parking area. We came back to the parking area, and from that point, from I want to say 7:15, 7:20, we are hearing shots nonstop, close, far, near us, to the right, to our left, front, back. We are surrounded. At
At
that
this point, are
point,
you and your boyfriend taking cover?
we are hiding in the car. We are hiding in the car and we are on the go. We are on the move. There was a lot of movement, car, people, everybody running, chaotic. We thought it would be best to stay on the move and just find the nearest exit. There were two main exits to the venue, a main one and an emergency one. By the time the shooting have started, everybody wanted to escape, so all the exits are blocked with cars. And when the terrorists have entered the venue, they have killed and burned alive all the cars waited in the exit. So all the exits are blocked. We are basically barricaded in the venue slash parking area.
All the people that were trying to get out of the venue, they were basically ambushed.
They were totally ambushed. The terrorists have infiltrated to the party through the main road. We saw even some security forces, like Israeli security forces, try to fight back with the little armory they had. They had nothing. Um, we heard the shots firing back, and yeah, when the terrorists came to the party, they knew exactly where the venue is, the parking, the exit. Everything was totally planned, because otherwise I don't know how in a couple of minutes they have occupied the entire thing and have murdered like hundreds of people.
I understand at one point you guys were being shot at, correct?
Yeah, they were. Our escape story is about a 4 hours escape story from 7:15 to the morning towards like, yeah, from 7:15 in the morning we were constantly shot at. There were several times where between 5 and 8 terrorists stood in front of our car and started shooting at us directly. One of them even made eye contact with my boyfriend. They locked eyes and he started to shoot at us. We saw black souls, no mercy. There was no humanitarian like reasons. He looked him in the eyes and started shooting at us. While we are driving, while we are escaping, we see a lot of dead bodies, burned cars, body parts. We like you see a roadkill, but as my friend's leg or arm.
What, you saw one of your friends dead?
No, not one of my closest friends, but we saw, it's the trans community. People know each other, love each other, care. It's a very, very loving community where people know each other. I don't need to know personally the person who was dancing next to me to not be offended or hurt or sad about his dead body laying down.
I understand at one point you guys were literally driving on rims to get away.
Yeah, so after 3 hours of escaping, it's not quite escape because we were barricaded in the venue. We start driving towards the fields, unfamiliar roads that are not meant to the type of car we were driving. And every turn we made, we saw a different group of terrorists with different armory, with different vehicles. They were very, very well prepared. I want to say that. And I have to mention that not only have we seen like terrorists, the Hamas elite unit, there were thousands of Gaza citizens, majority of course men, who have infiltrated the venue to loot, to rape, to kill. When I say terrorist, I'm including not only the Hamas, but also the thousands of Gaza citizens who infiltrated the Israel country just to loot, rape, and kill.
How could you tell the Hamas from the regular folks from Gaza?
It was very easy by what they were wearing. The soldiers, and I'm emphasizing on soldiers, had like a ceramic vest and guns, and they were dressed in uniforms, and the other civilians were just people like you and me in blue jeans and sneakers. Some were barefoot. Some even came like on a horse, on pickup trucks. They have infiltrated the country in masses. So it's not correct to say there was only Hamas. The majority of the people were just Gaza citizens.
And how did you guys finally get to safety?
So after like 3 and something hours of trying to escape, internet was down. We were very scared. We did not know where we were at. I was able, at that point, we were a car full of people. Ronald was driving, I'm next to him, and in the back there are three complete strangers we did not know from the party, who just hopped into our car. I was able to upload Google Maps to see where we at. Ronald emphasized that he wants me to find him a road because he will take us home. So at around 10 a.m. in the morning, Saturday morning, we managed to hop on a road. Once we hopped on the road, Ronald started yelling at everybody at the car. Everybody heads down, nobody raises their head. And on the road, what we saw was a parade. We did not know some kibbutzes and villages were occupied and the road was occupied. It was like a parade. There were hundreds and hundreds of terrorists just walking on the road like they own it. They were on every vehicle, with every armory, motorcycles, pickup trucks, stolen cars, by foot, with
Going through your
guns.
mind as all of this is playing out?
That we're going to die, that there is no other scenario other than us dying. Ronald hit the gas pedal as hard as he could, and we just start driving among them. Okay, we did not want to hit them because our car was already in a bad shape, and we did not want the car to stop. If the car is stopping, we are dying. And the only way I can say what saves us was Ronald and his ability of amazing driving and maneuvering the car. And I want to say that at that point, I think the terrorists were cocky. They were cocky at that point. They have already killed thousands of people, and we are the only driving car on the road besides them, and they were sure they're going to kill us. So they shot at us non-stop towards the underneath of the car and our wheels. We saw the tires like flown outside of the car. We are grinding on the metal. The car started to smoke. They're shooting at us like non-stop. I cannot emphasize that enough. I don't know how I'm sitting here talking to you, because I've been shot at least like hundreds of bullets. And also the terrorists have barricaded the road. They flipped cars over, lit them on fire, so any car that is coming from the party direction has to stop. So Ronald had to take the car off the road and on the road, and we almost flip, and we have no wheels, and it was like such a traumatic event while everybody's shooting at us. And by miracle, Ronald was able to maneuver the car, and by the cockiness of the terrorists, we were not hit. And we just drove on the road, and I saw a square in front of me, and by the Google Maps, I saw there's a kibbutz at the square, and at the kibbutz was already Israeli forces waiting. Unfortunately, with no blame, absolutely no blame at the forces, they also shot at us because we looked like terrorists. We came from their direction with a broken car that's not working very fast. So they unfortunately also shot at us, which was also very scary. After the glass had shattered from...
This was the IDF that shot at you?
No, this was like civilian forces of the kibbutz that waited outside. Once the glass shattered, the civilian forces have heard our screams and our shots like we're Israeli, don't shoot. And they stopped the shooting, and they gave us shelter. They opened a small gate in the kibbutz and just told us to run for our lives inside the kibbutz.
Everything you described sounds like a nightmare, and I just have to ask, how are you and your boyfriend physically and mentally after all of this?
I don't know how. Physically, we are okay. Nothing but cuts, bruises. We are in one piece, which is not something we thought we would be. Mentally, we are a wreck. I lost two of my best friends. One of them is the person, even though I have Ronald and I'm in a relationship, he is my good morning and my good night text, and he has been murdered in Kibbutz Reim. It's been awful. It's been awful seeing the media and how people perceive these conflict.
I wanted to ask you, speaking of perception, if you had the opportunity to sit down with your prime minister and with our US president, what would you say to them?
I would say that Hamas, Gaza, Palestinian, Israeli conflict is a problem of the world. It's very easy to sit by and point blaming fingers when the whole world, United Nations, doesn't know what's going on here on a daily basis. We give the Gaza Strip, we give them electricity, food, appliances, and what happens is all those goods go towards Hamas because they're running the operation. No matter what other people will tell you, they are running and are responsible for the people of Gaza Strip on Gaza Strip. They take the money and they do this type of horrific things, and they put this money towards burning babies and raping women. And what happened is there are a lot of people suffering in Gaza, I am sure, but Israel is stuck between a hard and a rock place. We're trying to help, and we're getting like we're shooting our own foot because we perceive as the bad people. And I want to say one more thing. I emphasize that there were many civilians who on their day-to-day life work on the land of Israel, and they then get paid and paychecks and everything, and they were the ones who raped the women and burning them alive, who raped the babies. And to every citizen of Gaza who did that has a mother, has a sister, has his family, and they all rooting for him. But you can hear Hamas recorded their actions. We have records that they are want to rape. They were sent here to rape, kill, and murder. They say it as to dirty the Jewish girls.
I wanted to ask you also, had you, when you guys were trying to get away, did you see any people being abducted?
We heard a lot of screaming, yelling, and pushing. With my eyes, I haven't seen, but I can say that 4 of my friends, who were a group of 8, ended up in Kibbutz Re'im, and they were hiding inside a shelter. From 30 people in the shelter, they survived 7 because they survived 8 grenades and an RPG missiles towards the shelter. And in the meanwhile, between those RPGs and those grenades, the terrorists came with pickup cars to kidnap the survivors. Oh, so if a grenade doesn't kill you, then I'll kidnap and rape you in Gaza. Hop on the pickup truck.
Do you know of people that have been kidnapped?
My friend, one of the girls who survived, was on the verge of being kidnapped. Do you want to know the reason? The pickup truck was full.
They left her.
So he let her go because the pickup truck was full. This is how she survived. This is what her life is worth. To being kidnapped to Gaza, to be raped, to be abused, to have her family so concerned. For what? For wanting to party at a music festival?
I wanted to ask you, because I know that now a lot of the talk is the Israeli offensive to what has happened. What are your thoughts on what's taking place right now? Israelis fighting back. America has launched ships that are in the region right now.
I think anybody who has criticism, first of all, what is equal action? After 40 babies were burned alive in front of their parents, women were raped, thousands are dead. So what should be a good response, right? Because we should respond somehow. So what? So if we are like taking down people from Hamas, then we're the bad people? And I also want to say, and that's basically towards the entire world, especially the Western world, like Europe, US, to all the LGBTQI community, I'm an ally. Israel is an ally. We host in Tel Aviv one of the biggest pride parades in the world. The fact that there are people from that community that are stating free Palestine means that they don't know a single clue about the conflict. Because if you think you can walk in Gaza when calling yourself they, them, then you're wrong, because you will be shot immediately. Doesn't matter if you're Jewish, Muslim, Christian, you will be dead. To all the social media influencers who wants to make a good buck from the conflict and the Free Palestine movement is more profitable. You think you can walk with your little mini skirt and your deep plunge necklines in Gaza without getting shot or raped immediately? Doesn't matter your religion. Hamas is a terrorist group, and I don't wish that at all. But let me say, if they are able to kill us and abolish the Jewish people of Israel, they will come to you. They will have no. They wouldn't stop. Do you think this little country of Israel will be enough for them? They would go to U.S., to Europe, to other Arab countries. Other Arab countries do not support Hamas's actions. They will come to each and every one of your door. They will knock on your door, rape your women, and murder your wife. That's what I have to say.
I have one last question. What do you say to, because after I interview you, I'm also interviewing a mom who's found out that her son is one of the people who were taken hostage. What do you say to family members that are going through that right now? Because I know you went through your own tragedy, having to see friends and people you know shot down, burned alive, and basically just executed right in front of you. But what do you say to those family members that are trying to keep some hope alive that their loved one is going to make it back?
That my heart is with them, and I wish whatever they hope for, because it's a very difficult situation knowing that your little sister is out there being abused in so many ways. I wish for them that what they hope for, what is the best outcome for them, will happen. I want to say that citizens all over Israel are joining towards helping and assisting in any way, shape, or form that we can. As a survivor of the attack, this is my contribution. There are so many people all over the country trying to do their best for you. We are all with you. We are one. Your pain is my pain. It's our pain. And I hope it will end very shortly with the best outcome.
I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and give me insight into what you went through, what your friends went through, and what you guys continue to go through. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.